Customer is looking to get a couple estimates. So I'm currently in the backyard, so I'm going to start in the backyard, even though these are line items. So the first part of the project is actually the front. It's a wall that needs to be replaced, but this is their backyard project, and we're going to start here. So currently they've got a walkway that's going along here and kind of has this awkward step here and then moving off to the side. We're going to bid to replace this walkway with a bluestone walkway. We're going to widen it to 30 feet. So give you some quick dimensions. I did draw this to scale, so I'll give that to you. It's, I believe, 8.5 feet from the side of their door to the side of the gate. And I'll show you what that is right here, side of the door to the side of the gate. We're going to put a little landing in here and connect this to the walkway because this is their main way in and out. So it's going to just kind of have a little pad here connected to the 3-foot wide walkway. It is 32 feet from the side, or from the garage to this part of the house right here. So I have drawn it to scale, so you can, with the dimensions to scale, so you can put it into SketchUp, and you should be able to figure this out, because I don't have my wheel back here to get the actual linear distance, but I've got the distance left and right and all that stuff. So this will be a line item to have the fence, or to have the walkway come over here and then to flare into that walk. The area that the walk currently is, we need to fill in with dirt. So a couple things to note about this is that right now their sidewalk is below grade, and he made a point to say that they want it above grade because it just becomes a pool. Not a problem. We'll lay this above grade. The other thing that we need to keep in mind is that we've got this where this door comes through, where this gate is. The sidewalk meets up with the apron of the garage in a really weird way. We have to figure out, I've given him a couple of options. The best ones really are to do something with this door to try and shave it down. There is a small possibility that we would cut the concrete right here at the corner across and then pour something to kind of ramp it down, but then we expose the ugly on the side over here, and I don't think that's going to be good. So just be aware that we've talked about this and that we would need to come up with some solution for this to make it from point A to point B. All right, we can certainly step down onto it because it's a different color, so it's going to look, people are going to notice it, but nonetheless, if we can come up with a good option, let's. So all this concrete would be going away. It's going to snake into here, and in the first iteration, on the first line item, we're going to flare it into this step that's right here. Okay, we're going to put another line item that has a 4x6 grill pad over here, a 4x6 grill pad, and so if we're going to do the sidewalk and the grill pad, there's actually a little more than the 4x6 because we would actually flare it into the corner of the grill pad, which would be right here. So it's 4x6 plus the connector piece. So this grade is going downhill toward the neighbor's yard, so we actually need to put some stone on the back side and a little on each side as well to help support it. And I'll show you what I mean, because as we walk over here, this is essentially the height of it. It's about 4 to 5 inches. So we're basically creating a small step along here. This will just be it doesn't need a foundation or anything like that, but nonetheless, it's going to be basically a step up onto it. We would need to get rid of these trees, or these lilac bushes, or whatever they are. So we would be responsible for that. All right, so that's the second part of this iteration. Third part of this iteration is the step. It is a 6x3 step. We are going to bid to veneer it with a Fond du Lac, either whatever the mix of the front is. So the mix of the front wall is going to be 80% Fond du Lac and like 20% color. So, and then bluestone treads. So they don't really know what color they want yet. Maybe Chilton. They don't want reds, so that's still up in the air. But 80-20 right now is currently the mix that we're working with. So we got the walkway, we've got the pad, and then we've got the sidewalk, or the step there that would need to be veneered as well. All right, I'll make my way around to the front to show you that. So here's the front of their house, and they have got a wall that's going across the front that is pushing out. It needs to be replaced. So the dimensions on this are 26 feet from the seam that's right over here. I don't know if you can see where the concrete cap is different. So it's 26 feet from here to this corner right here. It is 11 feet. Ooh, now I'm second guessing myself. Let me just double check. Pretty sure I said 11. Yep, it's 11 feet on this right-hand side, and it is 3 feet tall. Now, the concrete is poured at an angle, and I told him we would not do it at an angle. We are going to do step-ups like what they have a couple houses down. This will be a random ashlar dry set mix of 80% Fond du Lac with 20% of some color. Their house is blue, but quite frankly, I don't like just putting bluestone in it because then it looks polka dotty. I suggested actually a mix of Fond du Lac and Chilton because a 50-50 mix of that would actually look nice. But we're going to bid this with 80-20 and go from there. So that's the main part of this. We would need to get Jack in here probably to do the demo on this. I did tell him that as we met up with the neighbor's walls, it's going to expose the ugly because we need to put a batter on the wall, and it's gonna look different. So there are call them 3-foot returns on each side as well that we have to do that are also 3 feet tall. All right, so then the next line item is probably something that John should do with concrete. The steps that go up here, the first 4 steps that he has have been repoured relatively recently. They're a different type of concrete, but as you go further up, the steps, there's irregularities in the thickness of them. There's an 8.5, there's a 6.5, and then there's a variation in depth and also a pitch coming down. So I told him that we would go ahead and give him a bid on this. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 steps that are currently in here. We're actually going to make that 13 steps. 13 steps because we've got a couple that are too tall, and then also their sidewalk is too low. It's very steep. We're going to level that off to an extent. So we're going to bid to put in an extra step in here. These are going to be probably 7.5-inch steps. This upper area here they're actually 4 feet 1, which is okay because our treads are 4 feet, and if you put a 1/2 inch joint on each side, we'll just tuck point it. So now the bottom 4 do flare out, and it is, let's say it was 5 and change, so 5 feet 2. So for measurement purposes, we're going to call these 6s because because that's the size that we would have to cut it down. So we're going to bid to replace these. He asked if we could veneer it. It just makes that first step too high because that's a full 8 inches right there. It's going to make it a 9-inch step there. Just, it's too much, and then we couldn't even out his steps either. So we'll bid to jackhammer out these, as a line item, to jackhammer them out, and then to replace them, not the sides, not these walls here. These walls will stay put. See, and then here's the problem, is that we've got the sidewalk coming in the rest of the way, and it's a big sidewalk. It's not like a normal sidewalk. Oofda. Let's just bid the steps for now. We're not going to get this. I suggested that he use concrete because then he can marry it up together, and I just don't want there to be a mishmash of product. Make it clear that the bid that we're giving him is only for those steps. It does not include the sidewalk at the top. So, because concrete's going to be a better solution for that. Just because of what he has there. I mean, this is a big project the way it is. So, yeah. All right, I think that's it. So we've got the wall, we've got the sidewalk in the back. I'm sorry, we've got the wall, we've got these steps, we've got the sidewalk in the back, we've got the step in the back, and then the grill pad.